Yeah, it's the Archivist, y'all, exclusively interviewing DJ LaLa.
What's up?
Welcome back to Canada.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very excited to be here. I love Canada.
Yeah, I'm glad that we finally got to sit down and we get to capture what we were supposed to capture back in the day.
I know, it was a little crazy, but I'm glad that this time around we got an opportunity to do this, so thank you so much.
100. And who is the multi-talented West Coast DJ LaLa?
So I would say that I'm a girl. I grew up in Orange County, and I live in LA now, and I love hip hop. I started off as a beat girl. Now I'm a DJ, and just I'm a DJ.
And we're going back to the high school days, the plans of the project, a choreographer.
Yes.
And dancing. Because you was a B-girl back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, my dreams as a high school girl was to be a choreographer. That's what I did my senior project. Senior project is like a project that you do when you're a senior. And I was a dancer, so I did mine on choreography. And yeah, I love dancing. I think that's what really connected me with hip hop first. That was my first love. And then eventually I got into DJing, so that was cool. I still dance a little bit, but not as much as before.
And let's go into your upbringing. It's quite beautiful, and we would say it's quite rare.
Yeah, it's a little rare. I would say my upbringing was really nice. Shout outs to my parents. They did the best that they could, and I think they did a really beautiful job. And I grew up with both of my parents. I grew up in the church. My dad was like kind of like a conductor in the choir, and my mom was a singer. She also played percussions. And my older brother was a drummer in the band as well, and I used to sing in the choir when I was little. But yeah, I grew up in the church, and I think that's how I remember my parents a lot, like in the church, singing, and they would travel to different places. So that was a really nice upbringing, Lots of instruments in my garage all the time. Growing up, I thought everybody's parents did music, and then I ended up finding out, oh wow, this is, it's very different, my household is very different. I learned how to connect microphones when I was 6 years old, and seeing big mixing boards was normal to me, and yeah, it was really nice. I learned a lot through music through my parents. Yeah.
And we first heard The Robot, Some Fun Times with Your Mother. Let's hear about these cherished moments.
Oh my God, so my mom, me and my mom, we used to have these little battles and stuff, because she was a really sweet woman. She was really sweet, always very loving, very kind, and always putting others first and stuff. But so anyways, we would have these battles because I was into dance, right? And so she knew I was into dancing, and she was a really great dancer herself, She grew up in the disco time, so that was her era and everything. But yeah, me and my mom would have these dance battles in the kitchen, and it was so fun because she was just fun with it. And I just remember she would always beat me when she would do the robot, and I couldn't do the robot the way I couldn't really do the robot even now, but she was so good at it. And so she would always do the robot, and then it was game over, So I was man, you can't keep doing the robot, you gotta switch it up. But she would tell me no, you gotta learn, And so anyways, it was really nice. Those memories are really nice for me,
And these troubled moments that we've had, your mom was sick back in the day. Unfortunately, you then went to Barnes and Noble with your cousin for a self-help book, but then you found something magical instead.
Yeah, I've told this story a few times, and every time I tell it, it takes me back to that place, right? But every time I tell it, it's just like I don't really know how to explain it, because I was taking care of my mom in the hospital, and not just me, my whole family and everything. But I don't think I was really doing bad. I wasn't doing good, and my aunts kept telling me that I should go out and get some fresh air, and I've always been like, I just wanted to be there, and I'm the type of person that's like, if I tell you I'm going to be there, it's because I'm just going to be there, So I wanted to really be there for my mom, but I wasn't, I was kind of like fainting a lot. I wasn't eating right. I was really sad all the time. So anyways, my aunts were like, no, you got to go take some air. So my cousin took me to the Barnes and Nobles. My mom was at the St. Joseph's Hospital in Orange County, for people that know out there. There's a Barnes and Nobles down the street, and so my cousin took me, and so anyways, I was at the Barnes and Nobles, and I was like, all right, well, if I'm already here, I might as well pick up a self-help book, and so anyways, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know what happened. I think for me, like personally, I think it was like God, I've had a relationship with God since I can remember because of my parents, and being in church and everything. But I remember like just walking into the shelf, trying to go into the self-help section, but there was this book that said, that's called How to Be a DJ or something like that. I still have the book, just as a memory, but I remember picking up the book and just feeling connected. I don't know how or what. Like I said, I wanted to be a dancer, like a choreographer and everything. So never did I think to be a DJ. I mean, I always loved hip hop, but never was like, I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened. I'd like to think that it was just God. I think it was just more like, I think maybe God knew what was about to happen and maybe he wanted me to go that route. I don't know. But anyways, I picked up the book and I bought it, and that's kind of how everything started. I got the book, and then after my mom passed, I remember I had like a little bit of money left in my account, and with the whatever money I had left, I bought a turntable, and then in that book, it taught me how to connect everything. So once I connected it, I mean, that's just how my journey started. And in the beginning, it was more of like a, I didn't know where it was going to take me. I just was like, I don't know. I think I was just trying to find a route to just make life make sense to me. And I don't know why that book. I don't know why God decided to take me that route. It's just like it happened. And so, yeah, I mean, little by little, it was like my depression started going away the more I would practice in my room. I mean, I spent like a lot of months in my room by myself. And those times were very dark for me, but it's like a bittersweet moment because I found DJing, and that's what really, like, I would say God was obviously what took me out of depression, but through music, I think that's what really like helped me, and I think that's kind of my goal in life. Like, I just want to be able to inspire anybody with my story or with what I'm doing, and yeah, that's kind of how everything started for me, and in that time. It was a crazy time.
And can you elaborate on other things when it comes to depression, what you did do to get through it? Because when I was talking to RA last time, I was asking him about it because we didn't connect for over 10 years. And I was out for quite a while. And then it took me 5 years to come back. And I was very severely depressed as well. Very, very in a dark place. So what did you do to combat these things that you were going through?
So I think for me, in the beginning, it was like I would sleep a lot, you know. I remember not wanting to be, alive. Um,
I've
I
gone
didn't
through
really
that
see,
in the last
the
3
point.
years.
Yeah, like I didn't really, at the time, I didn't really see the point of like life, I think it was just really hard for me. My mom was like one of my best friends, I was really close with her, and losing her was like the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life till this day even. And it is true, it doesn't get any, like the pain still is there, but I do understand now how you get to learn to just live with it. But during that time, I was sleeping a lot. And the reason why I was sleeping a lot was because I didn't want to feel anything. I was running away from facing feelings, feeling that she's not here anymore, feeling sad, feeling, crying all the time. And like, as soon as I would wake up, it was like, oh man, like I would just go back to sleep. And that's how it was. It was like I wasn't eating right. So because I wasn't eating right and because I was crying a lot, it makes the body tired. So that's how I was able to maintain more sleep than being awake.
I'm going through that right now with my mom. I shared a lot with her, and we're in a bit of a different stage with her health, and it's a little tough.
Mm-hmm. But I would say, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I think for me it was just God. I think God really just placed me in this position. I think he was like, yo, I'm going to take your mom. I'm sorry, but I'm going to just leave this here for the time being, because, we're not all going to be here alive forever, So I think for me it was like connecting the equipment was kind of exciting. Receiving the turntable was exciting as well. But the excitement only was there for like a couple minutes, and then it was back to being sad, So I think when I would be awake, I would do a little more on the turntables. Like, okay, how do I, I only had one turntable, and the other one I would just beat match everything with the iPod. I had an iPod at the time, so I learned how to connect the iPod on one side. And then I would blend vinyl with whatever beat the iPod was playing, And that's how I taught myself how to beat match everything. But yeah, I would say like there would be like the first month I think I slept the most, a lot of nightmares, a lot of crying, a lot of depression, a lot of just being me at home by myself. A lot of my homegirls try to reach out, but I think when I'm sad, I just like to be alone, And so it would be like I would wake up and I'd see the turntable there, and I'd just be like, I'd just get up and do something with it, and then it'd be like 5 minutes, and then the next day it'd be like 10 minutes, and then it just started growing and growing to where I was like, it ended up being that I was in my room DJing. Once I caught on, like I honestly feel like I learned really fast too, and I want to say it probably had to do with my parents, because growing up, like, there was music in my house all the time. My dad playing the guitar, my mom singing, my brother was in a band, and my little brother was still young, but I think that little by little, like, I just started spending more time DJing in my room. So it got to the point where I remember like going 8 hours straight, and my ears were like not bleeding, but there was like a lot of red dots because of the pressure of the headphones. And I started getting a headache, and I was like, what is going on? And I took the headphones off, And then I started feeling some pain in my ear, and I was like, oh, it's coming from here. And I went to look in the mirror, and my ears were red, and I was like, oh shit, how long have I been here, It was like 8 hours, I'm like, oh wow, like, so it just, little by little, it was like I was sleeping less and DJing more often,
And before all that, you did get the turntable for $500 online, but then you went to Mexico, and when you came back, it arrived.
Yes, so when my mom passed, my cousin was like, hey, maybe we should take a trip. And I said, yeah, let's do it. I need to get away. So I remember ordering the turntable, went to Mexico, had my time, to process things. And then when I came back, that was the little excitement that I had, like, oh, it's here, And I always just want to say that I always was like, when I got the turntable, my thought wasn't like, oh, I'm going to become a DJ, I don't know what my thought was. I think it was just like I wanted a turntable because it was like a fucking turntable, and it was like hip-hop, and I was into hip-hop. And I always told myself during that time, I was like, well, I'm going to try and learn, but if I don't learn, because I was like, man, you just dropped all this money, the only money you had left, But I was like, if I don't learn, I'm just going to keep it in the living room, Like when people come, they like people play in the stereo. Like I wanted to just play records when people came to visit, like when I had my own apartment, or whatever, But eventually I ended up learning and becoming a DJ, so it was like, wow, okay, well, here I am,
And then a little while later, you were now teaching yourself to DJ, and you made some scratches and delivered them. You even made a video.
Yeah, so that shout outs to Mr. CR. He's from LA. He's
Rumble Pack Gang Project Blown.
You know what I'm saying? Some real hip hop shit, But yeah, you know what? At the time, this was before I DJ'd for Sugar Free, I think, and I was DJing for Mr. CR for a little while, and it was in the beginning of my music journey, and I remember he hit me up and he was working on a song. It's called ASAP Freestyle. I think the video is still on YouTube, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out. So just so you know, that was the first time I ever recorded scratches. So it's not like how I scratch now, But I remember him hitting me up. He's like, yo, like I need some scratches on this track. I'm like, I got you, But I didn't know how to scratch, I don't know why I said I got you. I just was like, I gotta figure it out. I'll do it, So anyways, he sent me the track. I sat on it for like a week. He's like, yo, you got it? And I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. Like, give me 3 more days. And I was like, okay. For me, it was like, I don't, sorry to bring up God again, but it was just like, I don't know how I learned so fast, Like, it's just like, this happened to me, and I don't know how. It's just like it happened, right? So for me, inside of my mind, I was like, yo, like, it's just me and you now, Like, I was in my room, I remember, like, I was like, hey, I was talking to God, like, hey, it's just me and you. I don't know how you made me learn, or like, I don't know how I learned DJing so fast, or whatever. But the same way that I learned, I'm going to learn how to scratch, Like, so I remember giving myself that talking to God or whatever. Spend like that whole day, like, just playing around with the vinyl and the crossfader and everything. And I just like remember hearing what sounded to me was like a good scratch, And I was like, oh my God, I got it. Like I registered what my hands were doing in my brain somehow, and I just remembered the movement, and I just kept doing it. And from there, I was like, okay, so I figured out how to record myself, and I recorded myself on Serato because I didn't know how to work Ableton or anything at the time. Now, I'm able to record myself, but at the time, I didn't know anything. No one's teaching me anything. No one taught me how to DJ, how to beat match, how to connect anything, nothing, So I remember hitting record, and then I started to layer also scratches. So I would just I would have to wait for the whole track, and then I would do the layering on top because I didn't know how to cut and move things over. I didn't have Ableton, you know. Yeah, so anyways, shout out to Mr. CR. He gave me the opportunity to do my first scratches ever recorded. And it was really my first time scratching, you know. It was just like, I don't know how I was so, not confident, but just so not scared, you know. It was just the first time. You would think that you'd want to practice a little more before, but anyways, I got the job done, turned it in. He liked it. I'm like, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, you did? I was like, oh, I never told him either. I never told him that I didn't know how to scratch. He knows now because I've told him now, but he had no idea. And so he's like, yo, it's dope. Let's shoot a video. And I was like, what, really? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it, you know. So we shot a video in LA somewhere at a record stop, I think, a record shop. Yeah, it was cool.
And then you became DJ LaLa. First, they didn't believe, but it's the parties, the club events, and then you got the residency. It's the underground.
Yeah. So I started off DJing at a lot of big clubs. And that was because I had a lot of friends that were dancers. And so back in those days, they would have my friends, they would pay my friends to come dance. And so that the club could be popping, you know. And so anyways, when my friends started finding out that I was DJing or starting to DJ, they're like, oh, cool, you wanna open up for the club? And I'm like, sure. So I had like a good connection there because of my friends who were promoters / dancers, you know. So anyways, I started DJing at the big top 40 clubs. And then, but you know, my heart was always in hip hop, you know, but I just was like, I had so much respect for the hip hop culture that I was just like, I just felt like I wasn't ready, you know, like I feel like I always wanted to come correct, you know. So anyways, some of my homegirls, we went to an underground hip hop event called Sunday's OC in Santa Ana. Shout outs to my homeboy, DJ Droops. You know, I grew up with him as far as like the music career and everything. So he's the one that put me on first. And so yeah, I went. My homegirls were like, yo, my homegirl, she's a DJ. And I didn't know they said that, but they told them. And so anyways, when we were leaving, my homegirl's like, yeah, we got you a gig. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I was a little bit upset, not to be like, I wasn't mad, you know, but inside of me, I was like kind of upset that they did that because I was like, yo, like, I'm not ready for that though, you know, like this is not like the 10 top 40 clubs, you know, this is like, to me, it was something special. To me, it was like a way higher level, like, you know what I mean? Like, so anyways, I was like, what? Why'd you guys do that? And they're like, yeah, you're going to be great. And I was like, what? And then the promoter came, he's like, yeah, we'll have you next week. And I was like, promoter being Droops, you know. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I accepted it, you know. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it, whatever, you know. Came, did a set. I was playing like a lot of fun during that time. And they loved it. And they were like, yo, you want to be a resident? And I was like, what? Yes, I would love to. And so that's kind of how my journey started with like real hip hop, you know. Any
history from the residency that you could speak on from
God,
DJing
yes.
those nights?
That's where Sugar Free found me. Mm-hmm. That's where everything started for me. Santa Ana. There was word that DJ Quick was looking for a female DJ. His people came to the spot. Never did I make the connection that it could possibly be me. I was the only female DJ there. I wasn't thinking about myself like that, in that light, you know? Like when people, when the guys told me, hey, you know, his people are coming, they're looking for a female DJ, I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know? But I never made the connection like, yo, like, I'm the only female DJ, you know? So it's just like, at that event, at least, I just didn't make the connection. I don't know how I didn't. I didn't really think about me like that, you know. I just was always very like humble, even till this day. Like I just kind of go by life day by day, you know. Like, but yeah. Anyways, it ended up being that like DJ Quick's cousin was there. He got my phone number. He gave it to Sugar Free's manager because I guess it was Sugar Free looking for a DJ. I'm not sure how that got into DJ Quick or whatever. I don't know. So anyways, that's how Sugar Free found me. And shouts to Ted, you know, shouts to Sugar Free. Ted hit me up and was like, yo, we have an event in Arizona. It was like a big event. And I did the show. They got me out there. You can bring a friend, you know, so I can feel comfortable. And I was so nervous. I remember I was so nervous because I'm like, this is Sugar Free, you know? Like, this is like, if you're from the West Coast, like, you know who Sugar Free is. Like, there's nobody in the industry, no one that can touch him at all, you know? And so I was very excited, and I remember being very nervous, and I did a good job. You know, he was like, yo, LaLa, you're the shit, you know, he was so happy, and when he was happy, I was like, yes. So he's like, yep, he locked me in, and I became his DJ, and so that was really nice.
You speak on some of your mixtapes that you've done.
So some of the mixtapes I've done, I don't really do so many as I wish to do. The last mixtape I did was for Rhymefest, so shout outs to Rhymefest. I am a resident DJ for them. We've been doing Rhymefest for 11 years now, and we just locked in a legendary venue, the LA Coliseum in LA. That's where Rhymefest is going to be. So very excited about that. But yes, the last mixtape I did was for Rhymefest, and I've done a few with them and a few on my own as well. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out on my SoundCloud. It's DJ LaLa Official.
Yeah, you did that one with De La Soul, for the De La Soul?
You know what? I'm not sure how many have I done. I think I've done 4 for them. But every time I do it, I try and get other people that have performed on the stage, you know, and I try and mix it up too with, like, you know, putting people on that are like, that do graph or that do breaking, you know. I try and put as many elements in a mixtape as I can. So, but definitely shout outs to De La Soul, especially Paz, because he's really cool. Like, I got to meet him at the Do-Over actually, and he was really cool, and we became really good, like, not really good friends. Like, I'm not like always hitting him up or anything, but like, I'm really cool with him, and he was really happy to know that I was Sugar Free's DJ. He's like, yo, I love Sugar Free, and I was like, yeah, you know. So he's been able to give me some drops, so that was really nice, and yeah, he's a very supportive of what I do. So shout outs to De La Soul as a whole, you know.
And Battleholics crew, let's hear about it. Be scared, it's bombing highways.
That's right.
And, as well, Cool Ski, Iceman, and West Covina, and very much more.
So shout outs to my crew, Battleholics. You know, I always shout them out because they're the ones that really, like, took me out to Europe. You know, our crew is a worldwide crew. And at the time, I remember some of the members from Italy had came to LA, and so when people from our crew come, we try and host them as much as we can. So we take turns, like, okay, they're going to stay at your house for these days, they're going to stay at your house for these days, and so forth, right? And then we take them to different battles, whatever. So anyways, when they came, I was like, man, you know what? Like, I want to go to Europe and expand with my DJ journey, you know? So anyways, that's kind of how I got it. I got my first show out there in Italy. That was my first show in Europe, and it was through my crew. And yeah, shout outs to my crew, man. They've been holding me down, and I be bringing them to my shows too, you know. I be having like my sets, and I bring them and create like a breaking cipher, you know. So shout outs to them. They've been holding me down.
And the Penthouse Party, downtown LA with Reverie. Let's hear about those moments.
So we used to live in a penthouse. It was in downtown LA, and it was very dope. It was me, Reverie, and Loudon. And it was really fun. Like it was like just on some baller status. It was like right in front of the Staples Center, and we threw a lot of events there. Our main goal, I think, was like just to be able to network as much as we can, you know. So that was the main goal, to live in this penthouse. But it was really fun. I had such a great time in that penthouse. Such great memories. I remember waking up and just seeing all the buildings like in the morning.
How many floors is it up?
We were on I think it was like, I don't know, I don't even remember, but it was like, I think it was like the 30 something floor. Something like that, I don't remember. But it was literally like, it was a penthouse on top of us, and then it was our penthouse below that. So it was just like, it was dope. It was a good time.
That's what we got here, the Shangri-La. You gotta check that out. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, up to the 43rd floor and counting.
It was crazy. It was crazy. That place was cool because they even had like a valet. So I would be able to like call and like, hey, get my car ready every time I would get a gig or whatever. Go down the elevator, walk into my car. Here you go, ma'am. Thank you. You know, it felt just so cool. Like I don't live like that, you know. But at the time, I was like, wow, that's so. What a blessing, you know.
And then you got Lolita Boutique, Ebony. You got T-shirts and even a documentary done on you. It's LaLa Official.
Yeah. So this is my brand, my little boutique. It's called Lalita. These are one of my lip glosses. But yes, I started my boutique because I wanted to really connect with my girls, you know what I'm saying? With my girly side. And I know like hip hop is very a male dominant industry and everything, but I feel like I just wanted to not change who I am at the same time, because I am a pretty like girly girl, you know. In my private regular life. So like no one really goes to my room, but if you go to my room, it's like a total different me, you know what I'm saying? But if you go to my living room, I have my records, my turntables and everything. But yeah, Lalita is my boutique, so you guys can go check it out. It's shoplalita.com. I have things like jewelry, makeup, clothes, like just, you know, other cute stuff to get you guys looking cute and nice and everything. And I also have my brand called Record Waves, just right here, I'm wearing it. And that's more of like a streetwear brand where I can connect more with like the hip hop world and be more like on the streetwear. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
And the best place in the world that you've been to so far? Because you've been touring lots.
Man, honestly, this question is so hard because I feel like every place has its own unique thing, you know? And every place that I go to, like, it's just so different than everywhere I've gone, you know? Canada has its own cool spots. But I would say, like, my top three that I've been able to experience that are like, wow, you know, is like Japan, Greece, and Italy. Like those are my top. Like I've never seen anything like those places, you know. So.
And then opening for Big Snoop Dogg, Dog Pound, Ghostface Killah. Who else?
Yeah, that was cool. So let's talk about the Snoop Dogg. Like I still have I posted the picture not too long ago, like on my stories. But so one day I was still teaching. I used to be a teacher actually, and when I was DJing for Sugar Free, I was still in that transition of like becoming a DJ. But I wanted to. This is one thing I do have an advice for people that are finding themselves to transition over to music full time. I wanted to do it in a safe way because I was already like, I had an apartment and you know, I went to school and everything, so I was teaching. But I wanted to sustain myself, and it's not easy, you know, to be an independent artist and do music, you know. But at the time, I was still teaching when I was DJing for Sugar Free, and I remember I got out of work. It was like 5, maybe 6 o'clock, and Sugar Free hits me up and was like, "Hey, what's up, La? What do you got going on today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm chilling. What's good?" He's like, "I have a show in Pomona. Can you come?" And I'm like, "Say less." He's like, "Okay, but you just gotta be here in an hour." And I was in Orange County, and I had to go to Pomona, and I was like, I'll be there in an hour. And I was like, holy smokes. Called my cousin to drive while I got ready in the car, like my makeup and everything. Showed up to Pomona, and it was like I think I did know, but it was like a Snoop Dogg, like dog pound. I think they were on tour or something. Anyways, I show up, and I was like so excited. And they had a DJ, you know, so I was like, "Oh, well, do you want me to DJ for you?" And they're like, yeah, I want you to DJ for me. I was like, okay. So I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna just go up to the booth and be like, "Excuse me," you know, and I'm a girl, and like, not that should be a thing, but it's just like, man, it was a little intimidated, you know, it was a little intimidated. But I was like, I gotta get it done. Sugar Free told me to do it, I'm gonna get it done, you know. Walked over there to the booth. He's like, I just told him, hey, he wants me to DJ. They were cool about it, so got to DJ for him. And then, you know, Snoop they both did the song that they have together, and then the top dog pound was there and everything. So that was a magical moment for me. Like, I was like, yo, what, you know? So that was cool. And then I still remember, like, when I got off, Snoop Dogg was like, yo, Sugar Free had his DJ and everything, like, you know, whatever. But I think he made like a little joke. It was so cool. It was like, yeah, he noticed, you know, it was like a female DJ backing Sugar Free up, you know. And that's when I first met Snoop Dogg. Sugar Free introduced me to him. He's like, yo, Snoop, I want you to meet my DJ, LaLa. And we got to me, Snoop, and Sugar Free. We got to kick it backstage, and we were like chilling for a good amount of time, and just like passing the blunt, you know. I was like, yo, I can't believe I got Sugar Free on my left, Snoop on my right, and it's just like the three of us, like, smoking. I'm like, it was just like, for me, it was like a really cool moment, you know. So that was really nice.
And Rhyme Festival, paid dues, hip-hop camp, South by Southwest, the largest crowd, best tour you've ever rocked.
The best tour I've ever rocked? Oh man, honestly, I'm not really sure. I can't really answer that one. But I think all the tour, like, I mean, being on the road with Sugar Free was amazing. Being on the road with RA has been amazing as well. Onyx, you know, I've been DJing with Onyx a few shows now, and Reverie, you know, like, even Tumex, you know, and just everyone that I've DJed for, everyone that I've been able to have the opportunity to open up, you know, like, I've opened up for like so many big artists, you know, like Beatnuts, and just so many people that have given me the opportunity. Is like, I'm just grateful to God, you know. I hope I can keep doing more better things, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I think the best tour, yeah, I don't know. I'll go with, I did my own tour. I finally did my own tour in Europe for the first time as a DJ. And that was really nice. It was a huge accomplishment for me, because I've toured a lot with artists, but I've never toured on like my own tour, you know, as a DJ. And for me, that was one of the biggest accomplishments that I've done so far. And it was beautiful, and it was great. And I was traveling on my own, you know. A lot of people don't know, but I've traveled alone, like out to Europe and everything. And I used to live out there for a little while too. I've lived in Birmingham in the UK. I've lived in Italy. I've lived in Germany. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to that, because it took a lot of years to get to a point where I can do that, you know. And so yeah.
And the best hip-hop memory that you've been part of or contributed to?
The best hip-hop memory. The best hip-hop memory is meeting all the legends. I think that's my favorite part. Is is hearing legends tell me that I look up to, telling me how creative a job I'm doing, you know. I mean, I used to listen to them, you know, so just to think that I'm DJing, and then not only that, but that I get to DJ for some of them, I mean, it's just like, I don't even know how to even describe how grateful I am, you know. I pray a lot, you know, and I thank God a lot, and every single gig that I get, like, a lot of people think I have this, like, big management with me, or, like, I have a manager or anything, and it's, like, it's just on me, you know, like, and also, like, just, like last time I was thinking, like, damn, like, these people, like, they don't even have to put me on the flyer, and then people are just putting me on the flyer, people are reaching out to me, like, hey, like, we want you to do this show, and like, it's just, like, God is just really guiding it all for me, you know, so I'm just really grateful to be where I am. And so anyways, I think, yeah, the best part is just, like, the legends, you know, their words of encouragement, their words of, like, how excited they are when they see me perform, you know. It's just like, whoa, it's crazy. And I think that makes me really happy. I think the ultimate thing for me is respect. And I try my best to do a good job at what I do, and I'm still learning. And yeah, I'm really having a good time, you know.
Let us know some of the techniques that you're still working on to master.
Oh man, I'm always trying to master things, you know. I'm working right now on creating an album. So that's my next big thing, and it's going pretty good so far. It does get difficult because I do tour a lot, you know, so it gets really hard. But I'm trying my best to teach myself how to still work on it while I'm on tour, because I've never done that, you know. I've never, like, no one's really told me how to do anything really, you know. So I'm doing that, and I'm also really trying to work more on my scratches, you know. I just want to get better and better, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm really working on at the moment, you know, doing that.
And we'll go into a couple of your questions. Who are your top 6 favorite producers and your top 6 favorite DJs of all time?
Okay, so that question, come on, you guys. I mean, come on. What kind of question is that? So this question, like, it's like they always ask questions like this, right? And it's just, like, so hard for me to answer, because for me, it's like, it's different every day, you know. Like, for me, music is like, I feel different every day. So I'm listening to all types of music, you know. I don't just listen to hip hop. I listen to soul, funk, reggae, dance hall, you know. I love samples, like, just, like, instrumentals, like, it's just Afro beats, break beats, like, it's just so much music. But as far as, like, best producer, every day is new. Today, for example, I'm just gonna go with, like, Dilla, you know. I'm just gonna go with Dilla today, you know. There's so many. There's, like, you know, Madlib. There's fucking, like, Pete Rock, and, like, there's so many. Like,
the plethora is
yes, it's just like,
beyond.
how can I just pick 6 or 1, you know?
And do you prefer sativa or leaning or indica strains?
You know what? I'm not really, like, it makes me, I don't know if this is a bad thing, but, like, I'm not really so into, like, I smoke, you know, and even then, like, I just feel even weird talking about it. I think it's, like, my teacher side inside of me, you know. Like, I just don't, I don't like smoking in front of kids, for example. And so, like, even smoking on camera, it's like, it makes me still feel weird, only because I was a teacher, and it's just like, I don't know, like, I don't know I'm still trying to figure that part out inside of me, you know. But as far as strains, like, I'm not really, into like the Cali culture is like, oh, this is what I'm into. I like hybrids, indica, whatever, you know. And I'm just more into like, you know, whatever is good, you know, like, so that's just my thing. But I would say I smoke mostly like indica and hybrid, you know.
And what is it like being a female in a scene working with men, the nitty gritty?
Okay, so well, it's very interesting as far as like coming from a female standpoint. I think that personally for me, I don't really see any difference, you know, like I know that it is different. Like I feel like when I'm touring with females, I do feel a little more like open to my like girl side, you know. I feel more, even with my outfits, they're just more like girly and womanish, you know. And when I'm touring with the fellas, I think it's a different vibe, you know. Like I grew up with my brothers, so for me it's just like, you know, like I don't really have trouble like hanging out with the fellas, you know. But one thing I can say is that I've always just really kept it respectable since day one, you know, and just like showing who I am. My parents did such a beautiful job, like teaching me about, you know, how to be a good woman and respect and everything. So I would say that's kind of how I get down, you know. I just do my work, go home, and you know what I'm saying? That's how I keep it moving, you know.
And when did you start rocking the wigs? What inspired you to rock them?
So the wigs, you know what? The wigs, how did it come? I think it was my girly side, you know. I just was like, at the time there wasn't a lot of girls wearing wigs. There was girls wearing wigs, you know. You saw Nicki Minaj, Lil' Kim, and like, you know, artists, you know. But as far as like, you know, like now it's become like a, you know, there's lace fronts and there's just all kinds of wigs, right? But at the time it wasn't like a big culture like that. There was always wigs, you know, but it wasn't as common as it is now, I think I would say. I started rocking them because I thought they looked cute, you know. I thought that it looked cool with my outfits because, you know, I could change it up, and it started becoming a thing because I had one girl, I was in Europe, and I don't know where she came from, but she's like, oh my God, girl, I was so excited to travel 2 hours just to come see you, and I just was so excited to see what color wig you were going to have on today. And I was like, what? You know, I thought that was so interesting. And so anyways, the business side of me, the girly side of me was like, yo, that's cool, you know, like I fuck with it, you know, style, you know, B-girl shit, like whatever. But the business side of me, you know, like building my brand and everything, I was like, yo, like, did this girl really like come and tell me that, you know, like she was interested in what color wig I was gonna have on. So I started to think like, oh shit, like yeah, like this is gonna be my thing, you know. So anyways, it started becoming a thing where like the girls are like, oh my God, the pink one, no, the orange one, no. So I just kind of made it like my brand, part of my brand, you know.
And why do you look so much like Cardi B? Are you guys related?
Who asked that?
That was low profile.
Oh my God.
High style,
Okay.
420.
So this is the thing. I don't know why people have come up to me to say that. I honestly do not think, no offense, you know, I don't think I look like her at all, you know. But I've gotten this a lot. I would have to say definitely more than 15 times now, which is a lot, you know. And this is what I always say. I always say, oh no, you mean she looks like me, because I've never had any plastic surgery done in my face or anywhere, you know. So so that's my little like funny thing, like, oh, you mean she looks like me, because you know this is how I was born, you know what I'm saying. So it's just a funny thing. No offense to Cardi B, like she's doing her thing and that's dope, you know, like. Yeah, I don't think I look like her, you guys.
And isn't she
like
Puerto Rican? You're Mexican, or how does it?
I don't
what's
know
the
what.
mix?
Oh, I think she's like Dominican Republic or whatever. But you know, whatever. It is what it is. I think it's kind of funny, you know, and I look like my mom. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I got my genes from. So, yeah.
And what's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack. My favorite snack. Okay, so I'm a sucker for Oreos. Oh my God. The Oreos, I love Oreos. I also like drinking tea at night. I know it's not a snack, but like I'm really like a tea kind of girl at night, you know. What other snacks do I like? I'm really into like organic shit, you know, trying to be healthy. After my mom passed, I've just been really trying to take care of myself and trying to eat as best as I can. Of course, I can't eat organic every day, you know, but I try my best. But as far as snacks, I'm gonna go with Oreos. That's like my go-to.
And what's your favorite go-to scratching technique?
Scratching technique. You know what? I learned scratching through ear. I don't know how I can describe that, but the best way I can describe it is like my older brother. He learned the guitar through ear. I think so. Sorry, Chris. Shout out to my brother Chris and my little brother Ruben. I love them. We're like, me and my family are really close. But yeah, I think I learned scratching through sound. So I cannot sit down and watch YouTube videos. I was like, I tried it a couple times. It's just not. I can't do that. Like it just doesn't work for me, you know. What works best for me is like just doing it and then hearing the sound come out and like, oh, that there it is, you know, and registering it, like doing it over and over and registering it, and then learning more new sounds. So even then, like the scratching that I do now, DJs will be like, oh, you just did the this and this, or you just did the transformer or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm just like, whatever sounds good to me, like I'm doing that. That's not to say that I don't respect the scratching community. I think the scratching community is amazing. All the scratch techniques there is out there, I would definitely love to learn more on what is what, you know. Like I know like how to do like the chirp and like the transformer and like crabbing and things like that, you know, but I would definitely want to work more on it and know more about it.
And do you have a favorite creative routine that you use on tour? Thanks for your time and keep up with the dope work.
Thank you. So as far as routines, yeah, you know what? Every time I go on tour, I try and do like a really cool routine. For this year, I've been bringing back like this LaLa routine that I used to do in the beginning when I started it off. And I stopped doing certain routines because they just get so boring to me after a while, you know? And so, but recently this year, I just did a new routine for this tour. So that's been going really fun. And there's so many songs out there that have LaLa in it. So for me, it's just, I have a blast when I do like routines, you know? So I have a lot of like LaLa routines, you know? If you are at one of the shows out here in Canada, you'll be able to see that. But yeah, I think that's my favorite one. I think it like people really connect with it because my name is LaLa, you know, or my DJ name is LaLa, and so I think that's one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
And you got any shouts?
Yeah. So I want to shout out my family because I love them and I miss them. Shout outs to me, you know, for I saw the Snoop Dogg interview, so I know he was like, I want to thank me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to shout out me because what I'm doing is not easy. And I say that as humbly as I can because I love what I'm doing. I love every bit of it, you know, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say that it's easy. It's not, you know, like it's not easy to be far away from the people that I love, the people that I want to hang out with, my friends. Like, you know, like last year I was on the road for 8 months out of the year, and that was tough, you know, and I'm glad I did it, but it was just really hard, you know. And but yeah, anyways, I want to shout out. I'm proud of myself, you know. I've gone through a lot in life, and I'm really proud that I haven't changed, you know, because a lot of people have done me dirty, you know, and I haven't changed. They haven't been able to touch my heart to change that, and I've kept myself still being me. So I'm really proud about that, because it could be easy, you know, to turn bitter or whatever, you know, after people like do you dirty and stuff. But I definitely want to shout out my close friends, you know. I want to shout out my family, my girls, the boss ladies. I want to shout out Reverie, Sugar Free, R.A. the Rugged Man, 2Mex, happy birthday to 2Mex. I want to shout out my peoples in Rhyme Fest, my family at Seshtival, DJ Droops for putting me on. Shout outs to every single person that I've been able to work with. Who else? Shout outs to Canada. I'm so excited to be here. And shout outs to Onyx. Yeah, like shout outs to just all the legends in the hip hop community, you know, everybody that taught me a lot, like MF Doom, you know, Dilla, all the people that are rocking it in LA. You know, the West Coast has some really dope artists, so like holding it down for them is dope, you know, and all the legends from New York, everybody, you know, shout outs to all the people keeping hip hop alive.
And rest in peace to Sean LaLa. He was one of our greatest promoters out here. Elsewhere, Son I Do.
Rest in peace, you know, God bless.
He was a DJ as well, and yeah, that's. I just wanted to elaborate on that, on the history, just for Vancouver hip hop. He was also affiliated with De La Soul as well, and so now you're continuing the legacy of the same name, right?
I mean, I hope so. I hope I'm doing a good job. Like I said, like, you know, I'm just going, you know. Wherever God places me, and that's where I'm at, you know. So I hope I can keep inspiring people. I think that's my main thing, that I want to be able to inspire as many girls and guys as I can, and ultimately, like, I'm not really doing this to be rich or anything, you know. All I hope is for me to have like the freedom of time, you know, and to be able to sustain myself, and then. And I've told this too, like, I don't know how I don't know if I'm going to be a DJ forever, you know, like, I might, you know, 2 years ago I was planning on not DJing anymore, you know, and then I think God was like, wait a minute, I'm not done with you on this side yet, so I was like, all right, you know, okay, you know, just trying to do this route, but okay, let's do it then, you know, but, yeah, so I'm just enjoying the time that I am a DJ, and maybe I will be a forever DJ, or maybe I won't. I have no idea, you know. But as for right now, I want to just do my best to represent the culture, and I have a lot of love for hip hop and just music in general, and I'm very excited to put my album out eventually, and yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and yeah.
And shouts to DJ LaLa for putting me on for R.A. the Rugged Man last time. I got to do that interview.
Yeah.
10 years in the making.
Wow.
And thanks for helping me out with that. And then now coming through, and we finally got to break history with you.
Yeah, sorry. Last time I was so tired. I was like, You know what? When I'm touring, I'm like, if I'm not doing shows, I'm just chilling in my hotel room, sleeping, or at record shops. You know, that's just my thing. You know, so it's just like that time I was like exhausted, like I was done, and I was like, yo, I have 2 hours to sleep. I'm taking it, like, because I don't know when I'll be able to sleep again. You know. So yeah, I apologize for that, but I'm so happy that we got to do it now. You know, so thank you.
Glad you could give me a heads up and we whipped it up and made it happen.
Yeah.
And shouts to Lifted and God One, templeofhiphop.com.
Yeah, and if you wanna find me anywhere, you can find me at DJ LaLa Official. On Instagram, Twitter, just everywhere. DJ LaLa Official, you'll find me. Make sure you check out my boutique. It's shoplalita.com. And if you want some gear, I have a lot of merch, and my brand, it's called Record Waves. You can find it at recordwaves.com. Yeah.
And anything else to add to our legendary interview in Canada?
I just want to hope that everybody's good, you know. God bless everyone, and I hope to see you guys at one of our shows. And thank you again for having me. I'm so excited to be in Canada, and I hope you guys enjoy the interview, and peace.
And last leg of the RA the Rugged Man tour. How's it been across Canada?
Oh my God, it's been so cool. You know what, RA, I'm just, honestly, even till this day, like, I'm just like, I can't believe I'm his DJ, you know? It's just like, shout outs to Reverie. She's the one that linked us up. That's my homegirl. Shout outs to her, man. Like, she's really working hard right now. I'm about to go on another tour with her to Europe in a week. So we'll be out there in Europe. But yeah, the tour with RA has been great. I learned so much with RA. He's like, always telling him like, yo, you should do like a podcast or like a YouTube channel. Like, he knows so much about hip hop. Like, he's been around for so long, you know, and he's just an amazing artist. I have so much respect for him, for his craft and everything, and all the shows have been great. Like, doing shows with him is so much fun. He's like such a great performer, and I've learned so much through him already, just being his DJ. So yeah, shout out to you, RA. You know, much love. Like, thank you for just giving me the opportunity, and looking to see where the future takes us, you know, and I'm very excited to be his DJ.
And safe travels on the road. And this is the Archivist, and you've been archived.
Peace.